to a WoW podcast. Obviously, episode number
8, 9.
With me, your host, Evitel.
And Taliesin. Quickly, Tally, change the title.
I'm just laughing at you. I was just checking our sound levels. But good. We are in.
It's
Ladies
good.
and gentlemen, welcome
Hello.
to the podcast.
Hi.
It's a WoW podcast. Obviously, it is so lovely to be here.
Hi,
Thank
everybody.
you. Thank you. Welcome, everyone.
Good to see
Thank you for
you.
waiting while we got started. It's lovely to have you here live. Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's the WoW podcast, obviously, Evitel.
Episode number 9.
Who's our guest today?
The guest of upcoming
Shall I tell you
impending
what our guest was
news.
going to be? This was all organised and it was all arranged and it was all set in stone.
Oh,
and
right.
I worked very, very hard to make this happen.
Did
It
you?
was going to be a dual guest this week.
No way.
It was going to be someone you know and someone you like. It was going to be a special surprise. I was going to get Charlie Cox on and Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill himself. When he heard that you were on the podcast, he was like, yes, please, I want to be in that podcast. And I was like, sure thing. And we organised it and it was all ready. But then we made the podcast one day early instead.
Oh, drat.
It's Wednesday because it's your
much to
birthday
do, so
tomorrow and
much
we're
to
going
see.
out.
Exactly.
And so I had to, neither of them could make it. Neither of them can make it, unfortunately, today.
Oh,
It
but
is what it
Tally,
is.
I really appreciate the effort that you put into this.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, don't thank me. They
intention is
were
there.
desperate to get on. They were desperate to be on the show. And I said, maybe some other time. And Henry was like, yeah, maybe. So I think it could still happen, maybe in a few years' time or something. Once his Warhammer 40,000 show fails and he's available again, we'll do it. It'll be
Honestly,
great.
when you said Charlie Cox, I was that gif where I was like, he had me in the first half. Because I was like, could be.
Yeah, can you imagine Charlie Cox on this show talking about World of Warcraft?
Yes, he would love
Hey,
it.
guys.
Guys.
Have you ever heard of GIFs? It's like, yes, Charlie, I have. Fantastic.
Gifs. These things that Charlie Cox and Tom Hiddleston would send each other via
Yeah.
WhatsApp.
Now, here's the thing, right? So it is obviously a day early, our show today. And
Yes.
obviously we're doing that because it is your birthday tomorrow.
Hey.
I've been running downstairs, opening the door,
I know.
getting presents that are being delivered all day long. We've had flowers delivered. We've had multiple Amazon packages delivered.
Oh, yeah, those are
It's
always
gonna be
those
a
are always
happy-
birthday presents. Are they?
Happy birthday for you. Honestly, it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm glad, I'm almost glad I didn't bother you getting a present now because
Oh, you didn't get me
there
a
are so many
present?
come anyway, right?
Oh, you already got me the present. The present was planning.
I got you a present,
Yeah,
baby.
thanks. Yeah, you've always got a
I
present
got
for
you
me.
your present,
just every day.
baby. Of course I got you a present, you dumbass. I was just joking. I
I
was doing
know.
the podcast joking.
And it doesn't matter because I already got myself a present, which is I took myself out and gave myself a facial this morning.
There are birthday jokes to be made there, but
There won't be.
I won't do it. I won't do it.
So if I seem to be, uncharacteristically glowy, it's because a woman applied various peptides, acids, and creams to my face for an hour.
That sounds like a facial.
And then, yes. And literally got, needles, spoons, all that shiz out and
God.
made me look, like a newborn babe.
You
So,
are very shiny.
Thank you.
You don't look a day over 30. You're incredible. You are a bit ghoulish, though. Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
that's something you just can't
Oh, for
shed.
those of you who don't know, someone had the nerve. Was it on the comments to the podcast? Was that it? Or was it
I
something
think it was
else?
just a normal video, which has even higher
Yeah, we
quality
were in
camera
4K
work.
on that
Like,
video. I was pretty impressed. So yeah, we had a Evie on a video, and one of the comments said, "Is Evie a cancer patient? She looks ghoulish," spelt with a double O. And usually I hide those. If I'm going through the YouTube and I see those comments. The ones that are like, Tally's stupid, he's got a big mouth. I keep those, obviously,
Those are
because
good.
they're cool. And they're objectively correct, honestly. So, but the Evitel ones, if anyone ever says anything nasty about Evitel, I do tend to hide them because there's no, I have to put up with that stuff on the internet, but there's no reason you have to.
Well,
And,
I
and
also-
also because I know that if you see them, you're going to go on the rampage on Twitter, which is exactly what you did.
It's true. No, and honestly, and I also go through comments and hide those that I don't like because that's my right and my job. And but usually I'm like, oh, whatever, puny mortal. But you know what? It was a Friday. I was just feeling it, and I was like, no.
No, you didn't just go on the rampage on Twitter. You left like a 12 tweet thread or something, which finished with a photo of you giving the finger to whoever that person was. We'll never know because you hid their identity.
Exactly. So I wouldn't say that inspired me, but on the eve of my 26th birthday, decided to give myself a little love. And and get a facial.
You don't need to give it. You don't need to give it to yourself on your birthday because that's what
exactly.
I'm for.
That's exactly what Tally is for.
Tally riding on in with the facial. Okay, so we are broadcasting this podcast live. So on the Wednesday, and we are broadcasting live on Twitter. Oh, sorry, not on Twitter. Maybe one day. On Twitch and YouTube at the same time, which means we can see all your beautiful Twitch subs come in, and they should be appearing on the screen, if not on the vocal. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
And also your super chats if you are on the YouTube. And what we usually do is we usually collect all the super chats together throughout the episode, and then if you can combine a question or something or a comment with your super chat, we go through them at the end.
We'll do a little Q&A.
But thank you, Dragnossi, incredibly generous, popping that one up and reminding me to talk about super chats, because we always forget, Evitel. We're supposed to be professionals and we always forget.
So I'll say it again. If you would like to ask a question for us to answer at the end of the episode in a little Q&A, feel free to drop it in a super chat on YouTube.
Yeah. So obviously we're going to be doing fun birthday things tomorrow, which is why we're podcasting today. And at first I was a bit afraid about that. I was a bit scared because I was like, Thursday is prime news dropping day, and guaranteed 1000% we are going to hear about 10.2.6, the pirate patch, which frankly, honestly, I'm bored of at this point. I'm done. I can't do it anymore. I'm a husk. Really? I invested so much emotion in this. I invested so much hype, so much of myself. 2 weeks now I've been sitting here going, oh, what about the pirate patch? Oh, what about the pirate patch? I'm done. I don't care about pirates. I never want to see a pirate as long as I live. Well, I don't care.
I actually think that's what spurred on my little Twitter rant last week, because it was Friday and nothing was happening.
Wait, are you blaming Holly Longdale for your Twitter rant?
I wouldn't blame her, but her team maybe.
Okay, so from the outside, it may look like I saw a comment I didn't like on a YouTube video that made me angry, go on some kind of Twitter rampage, finishing with a picture of my middle finger. But I just want you to know that's not because I was triggered, okay? I was not triggered. I was not owned. I was not triggered on the internet. That was not me. No. Instead, it was all because I was so upset about there being no 10.2.6 news. Basically, it's Blizzard's fault as usual. It's Holly Longdale. All Holly Longdale's fault. That's basically what we're saying, right?
Yeah, essentially. But I think
Ian at the very least.
I'm going to be honest with
Phil
you.
Spencer, hate that guy.
I will be honest with you.
F you, Phil.
Yesterday, last week, about Friday time, was when I actually started feeling a little bit fed up with all like the teasing about the pirates.
Which is very unlike
the side eyes. Yeah, exactly. I love a good tease, but you like the little side and the little and then every hour or so, some other member of Blizz staff would tweet something else inscrutable and cheeky, and that's when I was like, actually, I'm actually getting a bit fed up now. I was like, oh, you know what? Actually,
I don't care anymore. Whatever it is, keep it. You enjoy your pirate patch, Blizz. You enjoy. I can't be bothered anymore.
I can't enjoy it anymore. I say that.
I'll just experience it through Mr. GM tweets. Okay.
I say that. The latest news.
Okay, so this is the thing, right? So I was afraid of doing this podcast today because I thought guaranteed we're going to miss the hype of the news coming out tomorrow. Wouldn't that be a great thing to talk about in the podcast, right? Yeah. But no, turns out we shouldn't have worried because in fact, Holly Longdale, the tease, he kind of stopped teasing, but also carried on teasing even more and dropped a really important blog post basically giving us all the information we are going to get on the Pirate Patch 10.2.6. Of course, we're going to be talking about that. That's our main talking point for the show, Evie. But first of all, there's something I think you've forgotten. Something we both forgot in the excitement of having Garrett on the show last week,
What have we
upsetting
forgotten?
everyone with his hating WoW like ways.
That was so funny. That was a fun episode. But it was great seeing the YouTube comments being like, "Who's this? Who's this guy? What? Nah.
Does he even
Does
like
he-
World of
does he-
Warcraft?
He does, just in his own way."
And then to repay the favor, I went on Garrett's show,
Yeah.
Grinding Gear,
Lovely.
on Monday. It was great fun. It was very late at night, and I got mean comments as well.
No.
Look, I don't want this show to turn into just us complaining about comments, but I told the story of how we met in the museum.
Yeah.
Of how when I asked you out for a date,
Oh, a
and then that
classic.
guy Zach pretended I was in jail in the hope that you wouldn't go to our date.
Yes.
And someone wrote in the comments underneath, "Oh, that story about Zach is exactly why I hate Taliesin. It's a great example because he's all smiles and niceness, but underneath he's rotten in the core."
Wait.
I'm like, dude, do you know I wasn't really in jail?
The point is that he wasn't actually in jail.
I wasn't
The point is-
really in jail. Like, it's fine. It's okay. Like, it's like, you should have let that guy steal your wife. You should have. I can't believe you're being nasty about that guy that tried to steal your girlfriend by saying you were in jail.
How dare you? Yeah.
You should have been nice about him. You are rotten, sir, to the core.
Rotten to the core.
I guess if that's you, if you're that person, you think I'm doing the exact same thing right now. But I am genuinely laughing. It's like, it's funny. I don't
is
mind if
funny.
you think I'm rotten. That's absolutely
No,
fine.
exactly.
I wouldn't say I'm rotten to the core, but I would say I am a rotter.
I mean,
I've been called a rotter before.
you could
Ooh,
do
you rotter.
you could do with a little facial.
I
Like you could do with a little scrub. You'd feel better.
I would love a little scrub to give me a facial. That would be lovely. So and what did we forget last week,
We
Evie?
forgot that we had made a bet
Yes.
several weeks ago, which I have, lost.
Yeah, you lost the bet.
I lost it, but pretty instantly.
We made a bet last week, 2 weeks ago on the podcast, when we were expecting the 10.2.6 news to drop. We were sitting here having this almost exact same conversation. We were like, that 10.2.6 news is gonna drop. It's gonna drop while, I've just got a feeling something exciting is gonna happen while we're podcasting today. That's what's gonna happen. We're gonna get a live reaction
like,
to
I can just
10.6.
feel it.
It's gonna be
gonna drop.
incredibly exciting. It's
gonna
gonna
drop.
be wild. And we did get exciting news drop. As we were podcasting to react to, but unfortunately it was the news that 8 million people were getting laid off from Activision Blizzard, which was horrible and distressing, and no wonder we forgot the bet, frankly, when we got to the next week.
Exactly.
But I did win the bet. You betted that 10.2.6 news would drop before the end of the weekend. That's the cutoff point that we made.
Yes.
And I can't even remember what the bet was. What was the prize? I can't remember.
The prize was that the loser has to wear has to dress up in an outfit of the winner's choice.
That's right.
Now I think technically we both lost because there has been no 10.2.6 news.
Yeah, that's
Was
really
yours-
interesting. See, I kind of thought you might say that, which is why I prepared a clip of that broadcast to play you right now,
No, you didn't.
because I knew that you would try and get out of it. I knew you would say that. So I actually prepared this.
Oh my God.
For you
Okay.
to see.
Oh, wow.
Wait. Sorry, that's the wrong one.
That's the wrong one. Okay, you pulled it
no, I think wait, 1 sec. Okay,
you
no.
lost
Oh no, my amazing plan.
Foiled.
My amazing plan foiled. Okay, wait a minute. I did
I
prepare it, but then I might have just got rid of it as well.
You that's okay. You know what? I kind of believe
No,
you.
it's all right. I remember when it was. I remember the timestamp. We got it, fam. Yeah, we got it.
Of course you do. Wow.
Of
Okay,
course,
okay,
of
fine.
course.
You know what? Just to put this to rest, let's do this.
Yeah,
Let's
okay,
indulge
so, like,
Charlie and
here
let
it is,
him
tip of
find
the
this.
weekend, darling.
And,
No,
exactly.
Okay, so if it happens today or tomorrow,
Yeah.
you win, and
I
you get
win.
to choose
Okay.
what I wear on the next podcast. But if it drops after that, I win.
All right.
I get to choose what
How
you
very
wear.
exciting. Okay, you just said-
I can't wait, and I've got some ideas.
If it-
Make me play that again. If
No, I've heard
if
it.
the
I've
news
heard it.
drops this week, or at any point. And what's the cutoff for it? Well, the weekend. Like they're not going to release it at the weekend, are they?
No, exactly.
Okay, so if it happens today or tomorrow, you win, and you get to choose what I wear on the next podcast. But if it drops after that, I win. If it drops after that, I win. So I obviously it has dropped. When it does drop, it will be dropping after that.
That's true.
So I win the bet. I'm absolutely the winner of the bet.
But
I'm very sorry.
It
I
has
knew
not
this was
yet
happen.
dropped.
No,
it has not yet dropped.
But it can't drop in your time frame anymore.
Or what if it never drops?
I mean, that's a little bit clutching at straws, Evie, if you ask me.
It's entirely possible.
No, I don't think it is
Holly's
possible.
message,
unless you're saying that 10.2.6 will never drop. I don't know. Can we get a quick straw poll in the chat? I mean, put a T if Taliesin won, and put like a sad face if you're too scared to upset Evie by saying that Taliesin won.
Look, she says in her note that...
Yeah, anyway, news did drop. You're right. We didn't get an announcement, but news did drop yesterday.
You're right.
That's why we're doing this podcast
No,
right now.
Okay, no, I will give you that. News regarding 10.2.6 has dropped.
Yeah, and it wasn't in the time frame.
Thank you, chat. I really appreciate chat. Thank you. I see you. I know that you're on my side. Thank you. But but Tally is right here.
Yeah. I know. I'm definitely right. I definitely won, which is why, again, I gave myself some time today to go through kind of costumes that I think you might want to wear on stream.
Okay.
So, I mean, the obvious one, obviously, first choice would definitely be Princess Leia from Return of the Jedi.
Wow.
Not her cool going through the forest with a cool visor, getting on like flying bikes thing. No, not that one. But the even cooler one, which is just bra and pants, where she kills, which would make me Jabba the Hutt. Think about it.
Exactly.
I'll wear this shirt and I'll look like Jabba the Hutt. I mean, that was my first choice.
Fair. Okay,
that was my first choice.
Yeah, okay. Given your mind and where it goes, I'm not surprised by this.
And then I thought, well, maybe it should be more WoW specific.
Okay.
So then I went for Jaina.
Okay.
Then I thought, well, hey, maybe Jaina would be a good idea, and I would go for classic. Much as you would look good in old school Jaina showing midriff costume, right? I thought, obviously BFA Jaina is much hotter and closer to you in age as well. You probably are BFA Jaina age right now.
I think I am.
So that's cool. And then I thought, well, we can have some fun with this. So then I thought of characters that I thought I think you genuinely look like. And I thought about maybe the lead character from Blue Eye Samurai.
Oh,
you don't have blue eyes, and you're not half Japanese, which would technically be kind of like racist if you dressed up as her. Unfortunately,
I don't know if I don't know if it's probably.
You would look very awesome dressed up as Blue Eye Samurai, but
would look like
when people inevitably called you racist for doing it, I wouldn't be able to disagree with them. It would be a little bit racist.
Exactly. So I probably can't do Hiru from Blue Eye Samurai.
No, it's a shame, isn't it? It's a shame. But that got me thinking of like just cool cartoon characters cosplay that.
But I appreciate how these have been becoming more and more clothed as you go on.
Oh yeah, exactly. I see a naked anytime I want, man. Like it's fine.
A giant hat and glasses on.
I feel about your naked body much as I do about the pirate patch at this stage. I do want it all of the time, but at the same time, I'm kind of over it. No, I'm joking. I'd like to be over it. I'd like to be like all the way over it.
Thank you. Good save. Thank you. Wow. That almost.
So in the end, and I think this is going to be my final decision. I think we're going to go for V from Arcane.
Oh wow! Hey,
what do you think?
I could do that.
Because
I could do that.
The main reason I'm choosing V from Arcane.
I could do that.
And I mean the TV show Arcane. But if you want to mix in some things from like game looks and stuff as well, that's cool too, basically, right? So, but the reason I chose V from Arcane because I thought it would be a nice little project for you. Because you could go out. You're going to need a wig.
Yeah.
You're going to need a neck tattoo. You're going to need a cheek tattoo.
Yeah.
And any other things. And also, I think you just look really hot as V from. It's sounding more like my birthday these days.
Yeah.
Like this bet. But yeah, what do you think? Do you approve of that one?
I'm in. I should have told me I got rid of my red pleather jacket ages ago. And my wig. So I can do this. Are we doing this for next
I know
week?
people call her. I know her name's actually Six, but in the show they call her V.
Yeah.
Like
right?
in the show they call her V. When I saw her name in League of Legends, I always called her Six, and then the show came out and people call her V in the show. And since it's the show version of her that I'm showing the picture of on screen, sorry, I have to explain to our listening audience here, right?
Yes.
Because the chat are going mad at me for not being cool enough. But I do call her Six when I'm playing League of Legends, which I
Vi?
never do because I'm not an idiot. Oh, Vi. Okay,
Vi.
Vi. Okay, whatever, man. Whatever. Like,
It's Vi.
okay, yeah, okay, so not Six then. Okay, look, guys, I don't care. Like, I don't care. Like, at this point, suck my dick. Sorry. Like, okay, fuck it. Okay, we're not doing V then.
Oh,
we're not doing V.
We're not doing Vi?
Well, the only one left. The only one left is. The only one left is Princess Leia. Then sorry, the chat had a paddy. They didn't like the way I said the thing. So
Tally, they just
unless I'm saying Leia wrong as well, in which case we can't do that either. No, it's going to have to be Leia. Sorry.
No, Tally, they just correctly corrected you. That was all that was happening there.
Yeah, sure, whatever, man. Time
You
for
were-
12
you were-
Twitter
You
rants.
you just got a little too fluffed up about the whole winning the bet thing, and people just wanted to bring you down a notch. That's all that happened there.
Yeah, anyway, I'm sorry I didn't even say that. It's meant to be suck my deek. It's meant to be suck my six. Anyway, no, we will go
Right.
for Vi. It's been a while since I've watched Arcane. Sorry, it's not my fault. It takes them 3 years to make a series. Sorry, it's
There
been
is
a
a
while
new one
since we
coming
watched
out, though,
it.
right?
Well,
There's a new
exactly,
one,
I know,
which is
I know.
really exciting.
So anyway, yeah, chim chimney chiroo.
Wow.
Oh gosh.
Wow. Well, on that note, sounds good. When's the deadline? Next week.
Next. Can you do it for next week?
Is that Valentine's Day?
Even better.
Let's
That's
see.
awesome.
Let me have a little look.
That would be very cool.
No, Valentine's is on Wednesday, so Thursday we're in the clear for.
Oh, okay. Well, you could try it out on Wednesday if you wanted to.
I could.
You could just show it to me, right?
I could. Well, yeah, I might need to, pass quality control.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Challenge accepted. Tune in next week to see me or hear me as Vi from Arcane.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure that the voice quality will definitely be different. I mean, I can't even remember how Vi is supposed to speak.
No. I'm gonna have to do my research. God, to think we were gonna do a whole episode about Arcane on our secret third channel.
Yeah, we were going to do that, weren't we? I'm glad we didn't, honestly.
Yeah. Well, it's been so long now. I
Yeah. Anyway, are we ready to talk about the actual news?
Yes, we are.
Because,
Let's do it.
I was so busy getting pictures of potential potential cosplays together, that I didn't actually get together the blog post in question. So I'm just going to go get it now. But it's from Holly Longdale.
Yes.
And we're huge fans of Holly Longdale on this channel.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely.
I love her so much. I'm even going to do her the honor, the privilege of saying a name right for once. I'm not going to call her Holly Longsdale like I usually do.
That's Holly Longdale.
Yeah,
No
Holly
S.
Longdale. And I just Googled her then to try and find this post. And one of the first things that comes up on Google when you search for her now is a Reddit post called "How Long is Holly Longdale?"
Is it a friendly Reddit post?
I think it's meant in a loving way.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. Because she does not deserve any flack.
No, they come to the conclusion her bottom half is about 5 foot high and her top half is about 3 foot high, so 8 foot tall all in all. She's a very tall lady. She's very long.
She is, yeah.
She's a long lady, and every inch a banger.
Yeah, and she looks great in coats. Particularly great in coats.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, we should do a Baldur's Gate 3 podcast stream at some point as well.
We have
a
to.
cosplay stream. We always did promise to do that.
We
Anyway,
did.
so here is the blog post in question. For those of you watching this podcast, I will put it on the screen now so you can see it.
Lovely.
2024 is under. Do you want to read this? Oh, I should.
Yeah,
you
in
can
my-
read
in
it
my
since
best-
you are more like Holly than I am.
you.
Because you're cool and people like you.
Greetings, Azeroth! 2024 is underway, and it's a big year for World of Warcraft as the game reaches a milestone 20-year anniversary. To think that 20 years ago, Facebook launched, MySpace was cool, and many of us were playing on a Nintendo DS and a PlayStation Portable. Wow. Friends aired its final episode and Lost delivered its first. And that same year, friends, family, and coworkers started playing a game called World of Warcraft.
One of us. She had a MySpace profile too, but she thought it was cool. She's not one of us.
Yeah.
She's not hipster enough to be one of us. Absolutely not. What did you have on your MySpace profile? Do you have one?
Of course I did.
What did you have on it?
I mean, I didn't have any autoplay music.
No, you didn't have autoplay music.
No.
If you didn't have autoplay music, you did not have a MySpace profile.
No, I had
I'm
a
sorry.
MySpace profile.
Did you not have any like special HTML like scripts?
Yeah, I had like, yeah, my HTML stuff. Yes, I did. Like I did. I had cool stuff. I'm trying to remember because like I definitely was not emo at any point, and but I liked vaguely emo adjacent bands at some point. So I think that may have flavored my MySpace. But all in all, it was just kind of like weird and not seen and like not cool. So it wouldn't have been like considered a cool MySpace.
Right. Why? Was there such a thing? Yes, there
Yes.
was. Mine was a cool MySpace. When you went onto MySpace,
Yeah.
the page was like yellow and had cool graphics on it. And I'm going to give you 3 guesses to guess what autoplayed when you went to my MySpace page. In
your band.
2006. Not my own band. That wouldn't be cool.
That's
Although my band was cool. No, that happened when you went to my band MySpace profile.
Okay.
The Lover.
Connor Oberst.
No. One more guess.
Spears and Bowden.
Oh, no, but that would have been good, actually. No. Heartbeats by The Knife.
Oh, that's actually really cool.
You'd open my MySpace page, everything would be popping in, it'd be like...
That's feels a bit late for MySpace, but I forget how old I are. Yeah. Okay. Amazing.
Steel drums.
Yeah. Okay. That's actually quite cool.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. And then a cool like black and white photo of me with like long hair.
Yeah.
It was really nice. You'd have liked it. You'd have fallen in love with me.
It's possible.
You'd been sending me messages like, "You are so cool."
I flirted with so many dudes on MySpace.
Oh, me too.
I had so many
it was
in like
wild.
my
Loved
top
that shit.
friends, whatever. Was it like your top 6? God, yeah. Different times.
Yeah, good times. Good times.
Anyway, where was I?
God, imagine being that age now with stuff much cooler than MySpace.
I know.
It's so nice, wouldn't it?
No, it wouldn't be, because now everything is like slick and streamlined, and you have to be on TikTok and you have to look a certain way, and you have to anyway. I have huge sympathy for young people now because the terrain you're dealing with just sucks. Like, you don't have any of the internet freedoms that I had.
You can tell it's your birthday. You're just like everything was better in my day.
It's true.
It sucks now.
It was.
Sucks to be young.
Dude, my
That's why they're all
live journal,
idiots.
my Tumblr is like peak internet. Like I still refer to it. I still look back to it. It is so old, it's still excellent even after they got rid of all the adult content on Tumblr. It was so good. Anyway, shall I continue?
Yes, please.
It fills my heart that Azeroth has become home to so many different types of people and players around the globe who have shared memorable moments these past 2 decades. Hugs. She says hugs, and that like absolutely sent me over like the edge when I read this, and I was like, that's how I know you're one of us. I love this. As Morpheus cried in Matrix Reloaded 2003, but anyway, we are still here. I'm glad I chose this rabbit hole and have never regretted how deep it goes. WoW is my wonderland all day, every day. The thing is, I totally believe that she wrote this and like probably passed it through like copy editors or whatever, but this is so in like a person's voice.
Yeah, but what's a radio.io score? That's what I want to know. What's a Mythic Plus score? Before I decide if she's as good as Ybarra.
Holly's always been my my type of WoW person.
Do you know, I love Holly Longdale. Everyone knows that. Do you know why I think I'm right in liking Holly Longdale in comparison to Mike Ybarra? Because I never
According
really,
to you.
Never really liked Mike
never
Ybarra,
quite
and I
gelled.
got a bit of pushback for that in the comments.
Yeah, I
and
remember
stuff.
that. Funny, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I never really liked him. But do you know why I think I'm okay liking Holly?
Why?
Is because everyone who works at Blizz doesn't hate her like they did Ybarra. Like, anytime you saw someone tweeting from Blizz or like talking or whatever about Ybarra, it was never anything nice. It was always
like
something
rightfully
horrible.
being really upset that they had to relocate in order to
Yeah, well,
continue
exactly.
working.
Because
Like, it was-
for a start, his job was much higher up than Holly Longdale's, so he has to do stuff that Holly Longdale does not have to do. Like
No.
Holly Longdale doesn't have to sit there and tell everyone to come back in. He does.
Yeah.
You know, so she doesn't have to sit there and say, well, if you don't want to come back to the office, maybe it's time to go get another job. He does. So in fairness, but he still did it though. He still did it.
Yeah.
And that's why people that worked there didn't like him. So there we go. I didn't like him because his Mythic Plus score wasn't high enough. And I've got very high standards. Do you want to carry on?
Let's carry on. And I have to say, I love this post. I really like the tone. I love how it's outlining kind of ambitions and like things that are just kind of goals, ideas, plans. Anyway, thinking about the year ahead and our roadmaps we remain committed to, we want to share with you 3 things we're focused on as a development team. 1, continue to evolve the living world for all players. Build on our learnings from 2023 to deliver content regularly for Dragonflight and Classic. Update and modernize your experience and quality of life in all flavors of WoW. Listen to your feedback and keep improving. 2, deliver the first installment of our most ambitious story with The War Within. World of Warcraft The War Within is preparing to invite players for testing in the coming months, and we are working hard to deliver on the epic journey of our World Soul saga. And 3, try new things and take risks to bring you new experiences. Our development team is trying new approaches. Invention and creativity are critical to this ever-evolving world of Azeroth we craft for and with all of you.
And I guess number 3 is the important one in the context of 10.2.6 and what's happening there.
Yeah.
Because the impression is very much that it's something unprecedented in terms of World of Warcraft.
It is.
Holly, would you like to carry on, please? You're doing so well.
Thank you, Tally. All that in mind, immediately ahead of us, we have WoW Classic, Season of Discovery Phase 2, launching on February 8th, Evitel's birthday at 1 p.m. 9 p.m. GMT globally. For more details, get the full scoop from our overview. You'll notice some new approaches mentioned there that we're trying out, and as always, we will listen to feedback. New runes, a new PvP experience, skill books, and more. WoW Classic Hardcore's self-found mode is coming in late February, followed shortly after by the beta for Catechism Classic. More news on all that will be coming soon. Here's the good stuff. As many have noticed, this is the first period of time since Dragonflight launched that we haven't had an active PTR, and we understand that is creating some curiosity.
Curiosity, an understatement. Creating just weeks of content of
Vibes.
people going, very soon, it's going to happen. I think it's today. Definitely would have happened if it wasn't for the layoffs. I think, did you see Muffinus has been seen at Old Trafford with his agent dressed in a pirate hat. We are speculating that this means...
For the 10.2.6 patch for Dragonflight, we created what we think is a unique event inspired by past musings from the community. We will talk about that more because that is a very interesting way of putting things.
I'm super intrigued by that.
Very. We can say that it is open to anyone with a WoW subscription if they want to participate, Classic or Dragonflight players. That's all we're going to say. Sorry. Not sorry. Our goal is to continue to keep it secret and keep it safe. The speculation is great. We watched the reaction to the surprises in Season of Discovery and thought we'd try a similar but different approach for Dragonflight. That means there will be no PTR, Public Test Realm, for a portion of the next content update as we have traditionally done.
So the YouTuber in me died at this point.
Yeah.
The YouTuber in me was like, no,
Uh-oh.
Holly, no. I got kids to feed, Holly. I got a mortgage to pay, Holly. Mr. GM is like, no.
But what we can say is that it will be coming in March. Not bad.
Yay. That's potentially 2 months away.
Right. A finer point, but the update will also include everything that's needed for Dragonflight Season 4, but will be hidden around after the launch of the update, we will make Season 4 available for testing on a 10.2.6 PTR before it goes live. Why are we doing this? We like the idea of releasing content that has some surprises and isn't data mined or revealed in advance. We also like to see the joy the community gets out of uncovering it all together as they jump into play. We look forward to seeing if the community likes this type of surprise and look forward to hearing your feedback. This is a risky experiment and could be a bit bumpy, though we are doing everything we can to ensure success. The WoW team prides itself on ensuring a solid, quality launch. We are sensitive and reactive to problems that can and might arise, so I hope you can forgive us if we experience some hiccups with this experiment and work alongside us as we try this out in March. All will be revealed then.
I do. There is a lot of like that. Holly basically turned into me every time I'm about to have sex right there, especially like when I was younger and it was someone new. It's like, look, okay,
Listen,
this might go badly. I just want you to bear with me. I just want you to like, I'm going to try and give you a really good experience here. But, you know, this is kind of, you know, it's not really my wheelhouse. And I just, you know, please be understanding if it all goes wrong. Might be a bumpy ride.
Yeah. We're doing everything to ensure success.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a tone that I understand all too well, you know, kind of lowering expectations. Sort of, yeah, look, it might go wrong because in fairness, we did just lay off our entire QA team.
Well, right, yeah.
You'd have thought they would put it on the PR because they're going to need people to test them. Like, it's like, oh, we can't wait to put everything on the PTR, no matter how small, because we've got no one else to test it. But apparently not. No, I mean, this is very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, highlights from that post for you, Evie, stuff that kind of caught your eye, little, you know, with regards to 10.26, because
right.
I think there's some incredibly interesting stuff.
There's a lot of stuff. I mean, key points, no PTR for this 10.2.6 event, but there will be a PTR for Season 4.
Yeah.
Wait, okay,
is that what they say?
Yes. Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah. So they're going to put it on, and after the launch of 10.2.6, we'll make Season 4 available for testing.
Right. So yeah, I actually missed that bit. I was so excited with all the rest of it.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
so like stuff like the Mythic Plus dungeons for Season 4. Season 4 is Dragonflight Raids Revisited, which is the Fated Raids, new PvP season, new Mythic Plus season, and new open world rewards. So the open world rewards sound quite interesting.
Yeah.
That's potentially like a little event or something like that. But otherwise, it's essentially the Fated season.
Yeah.
So yeah, testing the Mythic Plus dungeons, testing the raids, and the scaling and stuff like that. I'd imagine that would all be. So yeah, nothing, you know, to give away there really.
No. But interesting.
Also, the War Within Alpha should have launched by then as well, according to the roadmap.
Right. And there's some hints towards that too. So yeah, so the big takeaway is that there is no PTR for 10.2.6. It is open to anyone with a WoW subscription. So that means if you play Classic or Dragonflight, you can play it.
Okay, what do you think that means? Because I've seen people coming from desperately different angles on this one. Some people think that it means it will be happening in Classic at the same time that it's happening in Dragonflight. I think that's what Mr. GM said. That's the impression he gave. Other people, I'm kind of the opinion that it means. What I thought when I read this first time, I thought it meant that it would be level agnostic. So you could jump in with a newly created character and take part. You don't have to own Dragonflight.
Okay.
You know, you could like a free to play, like an essentially free to play player could play it, which means anyone with a Classic subscription could just create a level 1, go in and experience it. You know, it's not gonna be happening like in Valdrakken or something somewhere in the game they can't get to.
Yeah.
What about you?
But so because I don't play Classic, so if you just have a sub, there isn't a separate sub for Classic or Dragonflight, right? So like, so that's, you know,
no, exactly.
It makes sense that it would be that. I feel like I'm kind of leaning towards what you said, Mr. GM has said, as in it's like a holiday event or something that happens in both Classic and Dragonflight. So you can take part in whether you are playing on Classic or in retail, you'll be able to take part in this event. And it will have presumably the same look, feel, rewards, etc. That's what I think. Oh, someone says they saw a tweet that specified it's only in Dragonflight.
Oh, right. Who was that tweet from? I'd love to see that. There is, of course, a third way. The third way is that it is a standalone server and you take the role of a pre-made character.
Oh, okay.
Which could definitely fit in if it was something like and I don't think it is going to be this, but the money in the past, and we've talked about this, has been the Vampire Survivors mode, right? Yeah. Now that could easily be just a separate thing next to Classic and next to Retail that you would click on and create a pre-made character, or it could be when you go into Dragonflight, like on the character select screen of Dragonflight, it could be take part in Vampire Survivors mode or something like that. And it could be that third way where it's a pre-made character, but you just have to go through Dragonflight's UI to get there, sort of thing.
Interesting. Okay, I can see that. I mean, it's cool that they haven't revealed what it is. Just
because this is what we're talking about right now, I will just pop to Twitter very quickly.
Okay.
Because I did tweet something about this, which Jeremy Fiesel, Muffinus, did then reply to.
He
might be a little. Here we go. So I said. This was Martin tweeted, given some people seem to think they announced whatever being in 10.2.6 to also be playable on Classic, I think they might want to clarify that a bit. Only thing I got from that post is that Classic players will be able to play it on Retail WoW as they won't need a Dragonflight license. And I retweeted that and backed it up. I was like, yeah, that was my read too, that the 10.2.6 events will be level agnostic, meaning everyone can jump into Retail and take part. But I could be wrong. I am quite dumb. I would like clarification. And then Jeremy Fiesel replied to that, and Jeremy Fiesel should know, right? To clarify, you are not dumb.
Nice.
And now
got that written down.
It could have just been him being nice, honestly, and not be anything to do with anything that we're talking about here. It could have just been because he's a nice person. He's a very friendly chap.
He's a lovely chap. He could have
just been like, you're not dumb, but you are completely wrong. Who knows? No comment on the other things though. So I don't think that is really saying one way or the other. I'm not sure.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not giving. He's just being nice to you.
Yeah.
He's just engaging with you in a kind and polite way, but not giving any information.
No, exactly. So I would bet at the moment, just based on the wording there, it feels like an event that's happening either in the game world of Dragonflight or like some kind of pre-made character that you get into through like the character select screen of Dragonflight, something like that. I don't think it will be happening in Classic at the same time, but I mean, goodness me, who knows? It could be that.
Yeah,
that'd be great. That'd be fun. But the fact that it wasn't on the Classic roadmap makes me suggest that whatever it is will be accessed via the Dragonflight client.
That's a fair point.
If nothing else.
That's a good point, actually. So it's interesting.
Yeah, so
that's actually a good point.
My guess would be a kind of a third way at the moment, but accessible specifically through the Dragonflight client. And then the question is, with that in mind, it's obviously not like a world event in that case, which your character does to get new transmog or something like that, because I don't know, or maybe it is.
Maybe.
But then do the Classic players get the transmog or the rewards? But like they just
like
take
a pixelated
away
version?
10,000 of the polygons or something,
exactly.
and like put it in. Or what is it? So what are you thinking at this point?
I mean, the thing that really caught my eye in all of this was it's a unique event inspired by past musings from the community. So this is something that they have come up with based on things that the community has been thinking about or discussing in the past.
Okay, so there's many layers to this.
Yeah.
My favorite layer is the idea that they never had a pirate thing planned originally, and they've only made it happen now. They've only put it in because the community decided that there's going to be pirates, and like they're kind of riffing off that, and they're like, hey, community thinks pirates, let's make a little pirate thing. That'll be funny as hell.
And so, and here's the thing, because the way this goes on about this is a test, this is an experiment. Point number 3, try new things. The dev team is coming up with new ways of engaging with the player base and the community and shaping Azeroth. Is this one of them? Is this like something that they are really agile on, and that they're just trying to like deliver a bit of an experiment? So like instead of just pushing it out on the PTR, they're putting it into live. So yeah, it could be it could be that where they were like, we have this thing. We're doing this thing. It has a structure, but what's the flavor? Like, what's the flavor of the event?
Exactly. And there's like, let's paste pirates on top of that. Yeah, because that would be a funny little reference to the community and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's also the very real possibility that when the community was deciding that it was pirates and going off on one and be like, I think it's pirates, then Mike Ybarra did his famous tweet, no pirates. Then devs were sitting there, and you know, all my homies hate Mike Ybarra. They saw that tweet and they're like, okay, we're doing pirates. Maybe it was literally Mike Ybarra saying that it wouldn't be pirates that spurred the Blizzard team on to be like, yeah, okay, Mike, okay.
Do you think that's why he's gone?
He came in one day and it was like the Great Escape. Every time he came into work, anytime he went into the Blizzard kind of part of HQ, which apparently he never did, so they were usually pretty safe.
Apparently, like, never met
there were people. Yeah. We've had kind of contact with people working down the hall from Mike Ybarra who never even saw him.
Yeah.
But you know, the man is carrying a Mythic Plus. But the idea that he comes into the Blizzard offices and they all have to like quickly hide all the pirate stuff. Because he gets very upset.
What pirates?
And he's like, I said there'd be no pirates.
Yeah,
it's a mutiny.
Exactly.
Mutiny at the Blizzard.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
He said no pirates, and they said yes, pirates. Oh my God, how good is that going to feel?
I love to think they did it just because of that, but no. The community decided it was going to be pirates, and I think Holly saying that, it kind of, in my headcanon, and one day we'll get it clarified to us, I'm sure, by someone. But my headcanon now is that there was never any intention to do pirate stuff for this patch, and they kind of put it in.
I love it.
Specifically as a reference to the community, and it's because the community was going on about it and stuff like that. And I love that. I think that's fantastic.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
I'm right though, aren't I, guys? No pirates. And Team 2 said, Yar!
So this is all like this is really interesting to me, and like I have to say I appreciate this post from the point of view of someone who worked as a producer in an organization that delivered delivered content to that was quite interesting to people on the internet. And this to me is like, this reads like a really great actually like internal update or like a plan that a producer would share with their team and be like, hey, here are our goals, you know, evolve the world, deliver War Within, try new things, etc. You know, this speaks to me as a fellow producer, Holly. This made me feel good reading this post. So from that level, like, and I can appreciate that they've chosen to share it like in this way, in this tone, like, and this all feeds into this whole idea of transparency and Team 2, like just sharing the roadmaps, sharing their goals, sharing their ambitions. It's not just being like, we are listening to you, which we've had that before. And it's like, yeah, okay, you were listening. And then it goes into a dossier. And then someone is like, someone pull up Tally's dossier and let's like, let's pull up all the bad stuff he said. No, it's like, they are listening and now stuff is being fed back into the game. Like that's how it feels. And we've had examples of that happen already, you know, with like quick changes with the like the whatever Sentinel armor that came up. You know, they're like, we hear you, we fixed it, right? So that's a small scale, like one item. But now being like, we hear that we get the vibe. We've done a vibe check, and the vibe is pirates. So
Wow, that is some insight there.
Yeah.
It's like we are really listening to you guys. We heard you like pirates.
yeah, just saying. So yeah, so I am excited about this.
But no ideas what it could be.
Well, I know what you think it can be.
Well, okay, so
Would you like to share your theory?
Well, the whole. What was the exact wording of it?
A unique event inspired by past musings from the community.
Inspired by past musings from the community.
Right. Yeah.
Which, obviously, I make about me. Everything's about me, of course. And it has to be about me. So
Yes.
for
Naturally.
me, that means I think genuinely they've taken the pirate thing from the community. And I think that's come from people that has been, things people have been saying. But in that case, why would they not take specific musings in that case about the whole pirate thing? And, I think I want to say one of our, one of the more kind of popular musings, one of the better known musings on the whole pirate theme probably came from our channel. It probably
One of them
inspired
maybe.
a lot of the pirate talk, and a lot of the pirate naysaying as well was probably in response to kind of us thinking that.
Yeah, but I think you don't forget that there's been a very, very active like RP pirate centric subculture
of course.
basically.
Yeah,
in WoW,
of course,
like for ages.
But we specifically kind of tied it to the next expansion and to kind of clues within the game and things like that. And that was the new expansion that will be revealed at BlizzCon 11.0. Night School official prediction. And this is where we made all of our predictions about the pirate theme for the next expansion based on the things that were appearing in game. So based on like the pirate ships that were popping up around the Exile's Reach, Forbidden Reach, just to say, based on the book about Night School that is there and the Western Storms and stuff. And some of that prediction kind of did come true with like the Western. Well, no, not really, no, but the dwarves and the storm dwarves and stuff.
We got some of that. Yeah.
So I feel. And we've had the guy who literally created Night School in that book come out and say it was just it doesn't mean anything. It's just it's just a
just
weird
flavor.
character that I
Just
invented
flavor.
for like flavor text, right?
Yeah.
But if they are taking musings from the community, I would like to make my prediction here right now.
Okay, let's hear it.
Right now, that we will in some way encounter Night School. Night School is going to be a character in game, and he will appear in 10.2.6
purely because the community has willed it.
Yeah, exactly. We will like we did with Zappy Boy. We will will this character into existence. And by we, I mean the collective community.
Exactly. We, the players.
Exactly. And of course, we, the players, didn't really do that either because Zappy Boy was in the Southang cinematic long before the community ever kind of got hold of him and decided that he was going to be.
But he really picked up after people saw him, and he became a thing, and the team boosted him a bit as well. He was always there, but they're like, no, wait, more Zappy Boy. Oh wow, that was a
kind of crazy,
flashback
right? Kind of
there.
awesome.
Yeah.
Totally. So I'm gonna set my stool out now, and I'm gonna say that Night School is gonna be in 10.2.6.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Totally. Nice.
Now,
okay.
The question then is, what is this thing gonna look like, and what is the actual kind of event that's gonna be happening, right? And the idea that I am kind of leaning towards something that you don't do with your main or your alts, and something that instead is like a pre-made character. So it is like a mini game, but an involved mini game.
I could do a mini game.
Not unlike the kind of Vampire Survivors thing. So I don't think it is the Vampire Survivors thing, but something like that, which is like a standalone gameplay mode, maybe like a roguelite, maybe something like that. I don't know. I just feel like it could be.
Exactly, but within the kind of the structure of World of Warcraft, where you have a player, certain race, you're running around in game, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's not like
for sure.
You're not getting like a 2D like shooter, are you?
No,
Like,
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, but then only because of the amount of work that I don't think would be possible to make that happen.
Exactly.
So I
Just
mean,
using the game engine to make something fun.
Now the only other option is that it would be like an event which is kind of like essentially an RP event, you know, like the party in Belemeth after the raid in Amirjasil, where you're going around just talking to people, having a nice time. What if it was like a pirate thing going on in Booty Bay, but it was happening in classic Booty Bay and Dragonflight Booty Bay?
Right, yeah.
I mean, that could be something that was going on. And so there wasn't much else to do apart from just go on, and maybe there's some like fairground rides there,
right?
And like kind of like mini games like that. But you're essentially just turning up, speaking to people, all yo-ho-hoing together, picking up new pirate transmog, which is kind of lying about the place and stuff, and just putting it on and having a wonderful time.
Okay, what if this is a way of just delivering a bit of story and gameplay like within the game? So sorry, I'm piecing this together as I go. So that's what happens in the game, right? You go on quests, you talk to people, they send you out. Traditionally, you follow a bit of a story, but what if it's more like structured? What if it's something in between just your standard WoW gameplay and like those 2.5D like cinematics we get, where you're in the game, but it's like very much like to some degree on rails, and you kind of make some decisions.
Hang on,
and you get like
choose your own adventure book.
Kind of. I'm trying to find the middle ground between just playing WoW,
like a Telltale game,
and watching, and kind of like that kind of level of gameplay, like maybe like. Like it doesn't. I don't mean it doesn't have to be like in that style, but with that kind of like philosophy of you get a pre-made character, you get ported into a certain world, certain situation. It looks and feels like WoW, but maybe a little bit different, and you kind of go about and like. You are delivered a bit of storytelling in like a complete little package.
I mean, that would be very cool. Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be really into that. I'd be into a kind of like a little choose your own sort of
right.
thing.
Yeah, I can't quite. I haven't conceptualized it fully. Sorry.
Or even if there wasn't that much player choice in it,
This is just a sketch.
What if it was very much an on rails? Go speak to this person. Go speak to this person. Kind of quest like Final Fantasy 14 style, basically.
Exactly.
Where the quest is not involving any combat or something. It's basically just
literally
going to talk to different people, and it's a story that gets told that way.
I think you've articulated what I'm trying to say a bit better. Yeah, like it's just story. It's just kind of on rails. You don't really do much combat or whatever, but you maybe do like a fun little game, and you just go about talking to people, and they deliver like kind of rich, cinematic oriented storytelling.
What if you take
I don't know.
What if it is this pre-made character thing, right? So what if you speak to someone in Booty Bay, okay, in Classic or Dragonflight, and they are like, let me tell you the story of the Night Squall. Okay, so it's like, you know, those Legion quests where you're like Hearn and you're going through like fighting in the War of the Ancients and stuff like that.
Love that stuff.
What if it's like one of those quests and it's like, and you melt through and you become Night Squall, and so like you're on his ship and it's the story of his journey through the Western Storms.
Cool.
So like you're on a ship and like, you know, you have to do little ship stuff, and it's like go swab the deck, go like, you know, prepare meals and stuff like that, go talk to your crew, make sure they're all good and stuff like that. And then it's like you go through the storm and it'll be like it's really nice kind of like set piece or whatever, but then you find yourself like on the other side of the storm, and you just get this glimpse of the land beyond, or something like that.
Yeah, could be.
That could be kind of fun. That could be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But then I think that it's got to be something repeatable, or maybe not though. Maybe it's not something repeatable. Maybe it is just like some kind of story development thing. What would you prefer?
I don't think it has to be repeatable. I just want to be delivered a little bit of story in a creative way. I think that's what I want.
You would rather just a one-off story
Just like a one-off little story thing.
Okay.
I mean,
fair.
I don't think that would satisfy the people, but it would.
No, well, story quests very rarely do, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, and part of that is, I don't think that is entirely down to the community hating story or anything. I don't think that's really fair. I think the community would lap up a really well told, delivered kind of story just for the sake of it. I think Blizz have a habit of kind of promising that and then not really always delivering on it. Sometimes they do and it's great, but sometimes they don't. And you know, I obviously don't want to go on about Gilneas and stuff like that, but I feel like the actual Gilneas story was just fine, but it lacked a lot of build up and context that it needed. Like nothing, you could keep those quests wholesale.
Oh, yeah,
you just needed to build some stuff around it as well.
Over a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
over time. I think
you know my thoughts on it exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's that. So I'd be really into that. I'd be cool with that. I think that would be fine.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
I think it's fine.
My other worry is something that people are mentioning in the chat right now is that we will overhype it, you know? And I know you can't really blame anyone for this. You can't blame anyone in the community for hyping this right now, because when you've got Holly and Jeremy and like all of the other devs, and there are so many of them, they're like, oh, I just want you to know, I'm sorry we can't tell you anymore, but we are really, really excited about it. When you've got devs doing that and then not telling you what it is going to build up a lot of hype, which, hey, look, maybe they'll completely meet the levels of hype that they're building now.
Yeah.
I would find that unlikely, to be honest. I find it much more likely that, it's just some kind of like story quest or something like that, which is really fun and really new, and they're doing it in a kind of cool way.
Yeah.
Which is why they're excited, because like we are like pushing the boundaries here. That doesn't really mean much to like players playing it.
Yeah, to counter that a little bit, I actually think, putting my producer hat back on, I feel like they're managing this really well and putting out this post, because Holly's post is great, but it's actually kind of like deflated my hype, not in a bad way. It is.
Sure,
I feel like my expectations are being managed.
Okay.
So I've had all of these, like, you know, devs like little tweets, little like, ooh, pirates. Someone tweeted a tree. Someone who knows? could be anything. So that feels like a big tease, but actually having Holly come out and be like, hey, look, we're trying something new. Might not work great. In fact, I think it will work really well. And this is also just like a kind of expectation management thing.
Yeah,
I think it's actually going to be like super slick. And
well, like me when I was about to have sex, really. I was very confident it was going to go well, really, right?
Yeah.
For me, at least.
Exactly.
Look, you know, I'm going to have a lot of fun right now, and I hope you do too.
So personally, like, my hype feels managed. I'm like, okay, something's coming. I don't know what it is. It might not work. It's coming in March. I'm not as like, ooh, pirate patch, you know. I'm like, my hype is fairly managed now. But I haven't had a chance to be on Twitter today, so I'm really curious to see what people have been saying about it.
Okay, so I think people are getting very, very hyped, and I don't, like I said, I don't blame people for that at all. And I think my worry, personally, this isn't what I think is going to happen, but my worry is that inevitably people are going to feel let down. My worry is that we're getting to a stage at this point now where whatever it is can only be a disappointment. So what's going to happen is, like, we are all going to log on, and please let it be a global launch. I know it won't be a global launch, but please let it be a global launch. We have the technology. We can do it in Classic. We can do it in Season of Discovery. Let's have this for 10.2.6. If you really want people to be going in and discovering it for the first time, then you have to let EU people go in at the same time as NA people, because you know, even if it's like 1 a.m. in the morning, because otherwise they will wake up and they will know. They will have been like, you know, they won't be able to avoid it. Streamers will get told in their chat and stuff. Like the whole thrill of discovery will have gone. And I don't think I say that just from a kind of selfish streamery creative
no, it
point of
goes for
view. Although
everyone.
I say it from that point of view as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think players would really like it to be a global launch as well, genuinely. But failing that, I'll just have to go in on my NA character, right? I mean,
Right,
like,
yeah,
I don't,
because,
if it is something that we are discovering
Yeah.
and that is going to be a surprise, and I want to discover it and I want to be surprised by it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'd have to get that NA character up and running.
And so, do you think they're describing it as an event? So it's something that comes and goes, right? Is the idea that it happens and then it doesn't happen? This isn't like a feature. This isn't player housing being delivered,
but it
right?
could be a recurring event. It could be like a new event kind of in the calendar.
New event format. But
I mean, technically, Secrets of Azeroth was an event, but it is still in the game. You can still go and do it. It didn't go away.
Sure. I guess what I'm saying is like we're not getting player housing.
No, I don't think so.
It's not. It's
well,
not like,
okay. So, right.
Well.
Well, that was the next thing I was going to say, right? Was that one of the reasons that the people are getting very, very hyped about this is for the again, completely understandable thing that, you know, people are going to say player housing. People are going to say it's going to be player housing.
That's been some player speculation, hasn't it?
We have done our bit to kind of make player housing at the forefront of people's minds. I've been saying that I think there's going to be player housing before the war within, which I still think, by the way, even though it gets less and less likely with each new announcement.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sticking by it because I'm not a fence-sitting kind of guy. I'll stick my neck out there, and you can say, well, Tally, he's rotten to the core, and his predictions are terrible. And did you hear when he accidentally said a slur on stream once? But, like, yeah, I mean, there is a thought in the community that player housing is in some way on the table. And if I have helped create disappointment about that, if it doesn't happen, then I would like to apologize. And if me being excited at this thing that I basically just made up, but still genuinely think might happen, by the way, it's like, I can't really eloquate it. I have zero evidence, you know, it's based completely on vibes, but I still, yeah, exactly. But I still do think it's going to happen. And the problem is, right, it's like that thing where, you know, at school or in life or something, if you get to a point where you decide you don't like someone, then it doesn't matter what they do. You know, if they buy you cupcakes, if they're nice to you, if they are objectively lovely about everything, if you've decided you don't like someone, very often anything they do just pisses you off more and just annoys you more, right? And so, like, there's probably a very good reason that you've decided you don't like them, but at that point, it doesn't matter what they do,
right? You
know, and that could be like everything is just a justification and cements your dislike for them even more. And it's getting a bit like that with player housing because I think it might happen. Even the most innocuous, innocent, meaningless posts from Blizz that could be about player housing, you look at them and you go, oh, yes, here it is. Another player housing hint, everyone. Yet another one. And you know, someone at Blizz is like, every time this happens, is putting their head in their hands going, why do they think this? Why? But it is true. You go into Belemeth, and if you haven't decided that player housing might be on the table, you'd think nothing of it. You'd be like, Belemeth is lovely. What a lovely place. I'm really enjoying walking around. It's great. But if you have decided player housing is on the table with zero evidence from Blizz, you see that little treehouse. You see it up there. And you're like, that's the place.
That's it.
That's the place. That's the player housing place. Right there. That's what it is. There it is. That's where it's going to be, fam. And people at Blizzard are like, why do they think, what is wrong with these people?
Such a good point.
And Blizz keep doing this, and the community, I've had loads of people like forward me a tweet from the World of Warcraft Twitter account, which is this one. Which came out after the announcement yesterday, after Holly's thing.
I love this
and
tweet.
It's World War. It's a picture, a beautiful picture.
I love this one.
Of Tyrande and Chandris and that dude, the guy. Yeah,
the guy. Malfurion.
Malfurion's in his little gardening hat, and they're in Belemeth because last time we saw them, Tyrande was like, I have found the perfect place for our home, which again, you wouldn't think anything of if you hadn't decided player housing was going to be a thing. But if you have decided player housing was a thing, you're like, they said the word home. They said the word home. It's like, well, yeah, this is the Night Elves' new home. But they said it, though. They said the word. And that means player housing. That's what it means. That's how we think now. And so this is clearly just riffing off that, right? This is playing off that. And it's like, there was room for a garden. It's a reference to when she says, I found a perfect spot for our home. It's really cute. It's a really lovely picture. I'm guessing it was likely Eric that made this. And if that is the case, well done. Well done, whoever made it. It's very, very cool. I like it a lot.
And Malfurion is like, is there room? Someone asks if there is room for a garden. And this is confirming there is, in fact, room for a garden.
Absolutely.
Lovely. So this is just a direct reference to one quest and a line and a quest. However, everyone's like, boom.
Well, I'll need a garden with my player housing, of course. This is definitely what's going to happen. It's a clear reference. It came out after the blog post. It's a clear reference to player housing, like undisputed. Of course it is. And so some members of the community, not me, so I have to say, some members of the community have taken this as yet another hint to player housing, specifically in 10.2.6. But I don't think that's the case personally. I would be okay, but just for the sake of, just for shits and giggles, right?
Okay.
It could be a cool event where you got a pirate ship with a cabin to decorate, and it could be like a little lead into player housing, right?
What if
I've seen people say this. I don't think it is, but whatever. What if parked in Booty Bay or whatever, there was like a pirate ship and they were like, gar.
Gar or yar?
Gar.
Gotta know what kind of pirate I'm dealing with here.
Well, okay, so the reason pirates say yar and gar, right, is because they traditionally have a Bristolian accent, right? So, if you're not doing a Bristolian accent, it's wrong. But Bristolians would say gar. Yeah, gar. Gar, ar, yar. It's all the same noise. It's all the same expression, okay? This is not a VVI 6 situation going on here, right? No, gar is perfectly acceptable as a pirate exclamation. It is, after all, just an exclamation. Gar, you have done a fine job there, me hearty. Why don't you go make yourself at home on our ship? And then you go in and you got a little cabin, and it could be a very, very kind of early test for the tech that goes into player housing.
The word,
that tech, which would be like choose or purchase or make things that go in this space, place them, create the space as you like it, sort of thing. It wouldn't have to be loads, but obviously in the background there would be absolutely loads going on.
Does
right?
That mean...
obviously, which is why it could all go wrong, and why Holly is like, hey, whoa. It could all go wrong.
Yeah. Now, why would they bother inviting Classic players to this? Presumably, there wouldn't be player housing in Classic, would there?
Well, maybe there could be.
Or there could, or you know.
So, Season of Discovery has basically kind of ripped Classic right open, right? You know, basically at this point, Season of Discovery can be anything. Season of Discovery can do anything that they fancy, you know? So, like, there can be another Season of Discovery after this one. I think they should. And that's the joy of Season of Discovery. It gives people what they actually want to repeat the same content over and over again. And I don't say that in a bad way. That was always the appeal of like the private servers and stuff. It's like, I just want to I want to level through this, and then I want to level through it again, and I want to level through it again, because that's where I find my enjoyment, and that's what's fun, and that's why Season of Discovery is so genius, because it's like, yeah, you can, but there's gonna be some surprises, and that's awesome. That's so cool. And it's kind of like the thinking behind, you know, we are in the golden age renaissance of video game remasters, right? It's a bit of a meme and people make fun of it, and there are good ones and bad ones, but we're also, you know, stuff like the Final Fantasy VII remakes, stuff like Resident Evil 4 remake and stuff like that. They don't just remake the game blow by blow. They give you something else. They recontextualize it, and sometimes they're adding new story and changing that, or giving you new ways to play and new things to do and stuff like that. And I actually think that's really great. Like, coming from I'm going to make a really weird link here, but it's kind of like what you do with Shakespeare plays now. You know, no one goes, or like the core audience for Shakespeare plays isn't people that have never seen Shakespeare before and want to. It's people who already enjoy Shakespeare. It's like, oh, I want to go and see Hamlet because I really like Hamlet. You are choosing to consume that piece of art again, and it's recognizable to you. You know it. You know what bits are coming next. Basically, but then the production that you're seeing is mixing it up. The whole setting could be different, or the costumes are different. Like the whole vibe and the things that they're choosing to bring out of the text are different. Like things can be blocked and cut and presented in a way that completely changes their meaning, even though it's technically the same words being said to you, the same script being said. So it's like remixing that. Like that's what people have done with Shakespeare forever, and it's kind of happening in classic video games now, which I really like. Season of Discovery is an expression of that, and that's really cool. So yeah, what I'm saying is,
I like this
basically what I've just said is that Season of Discovery is Shakespeare for WoW.
Nice.
That's what I'm saying.
Clip it.
And I'm sticking by it. And with that
done.
in mind, if player housing, like why couldn't you introduce dragon riding to Season of Discovery? Call it like Season of Discovery 2, Season of the Dragon. And it's like, it's Season of Discovery again. There'll be some new stuff in the quests and stuff. Oh, and also one of them will be to get a dragon riding mount.
Sure. Why not?
Why not?
You know what? Why not?
And why not, if player housing were to become a thing in retail, why not just chuck it into Season of Discovery?
Yeah, you might be on.
Season of homemaking.
Season of...
You know?
Yes. Yeah.
Hear what I'm saying?
I
you picking
hear
up what I'm putting down?
No, but I am listening to the words you're saying.
It's feasible is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that would be a really cool thing for classic players. And if it was like a dry run on player housing, so it wasn't like the implementation of player housing into the game, it was like a kind of test of the tech. So it's like, Gar, try out my cabin, go in there and decorate it and have a nice time, and it's yours. And you're going out and you're doing that, and it's very simple, but people could have fun with it. Why not chuck it into classic as well, so they can try it out too? And then it goes away at the end of the pirate kind of event, and we'll see it kind of developed and built on later on down the road as a permanent feature.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't think that's what's going to happen, but that's a vibe that a lot of people in the community have, and I could see it. I don't think it will happen.
Do the SOD players, the Season of Discovery players,
cancelled.
Do the SODs want it? Do the players want it? Because someone's like, dude, we're arguing whether we should have instant mail. We are not ready for dragon riding.
So that is like that's like literally a gameplay mechanic that you're discussing there, because like the thing with the mail is that people are using it as storage, right? So people are mailing themselves thousands of things and using it as bank, right? So it's a way of like bypassing the mechanics of the game. A feature which is just put in there, like a new raid, a remixed raid, something like that, that's different, right? So that's a different argument completely. And because nothing in Season of Discovery from a kind of the content that we're presenting to you is true to classic, but the gameplay mechanics kind of need to be, because that's the whole point, right? I can see arguments happening about the mechanics, but just you could put in player housing, be fine, be cool.
It could
I don't know. I think it could work. I think people would like it. I think people would be all right with it. I don't know. Who knows? And obviously the potential for shop stuff in there would be never ending.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Well, that's another conversation, I think.
Yeah.
But this actually all kind of ties in nicely, I feel, to the kind of holiday events that are happening in the world right now, which have given me, well, one, I'm not like a huge holiday player. Like I just don't. I never do the events. They haven't really appealed to me. This is the one, like the first time that I've actually really truly jumped into one, and I've had an amazing time. And I love how they're using, and it's maybe a bit of a tangent if you still want to go back to your player housing theories, but how they're using the Love is in the Air event to get you out into other parts of the world, integrating kind of dragon riding. Like you go to Nagrand and like you're just dragon riding through all like little like hanging, bits of rock.
Oh, really?
And
that's so cool.
It's lovely. It is so, and you get to, you are, put out into the world to places you might not otherwise go. Like there are little revelers on picnic blankets, you get to, you get sent to like relieve your stress in the old town. I was thinking about this.
Really? How does one relieve their stress in the old town?
Well, let me tell you all about it. There is one quest where they're like, go to the inn at Goldshire and go to bed, take a nap. So of course, like I walk into the inn and everyone's like, "Da-na-na-na-na-na-na," and then you're like, oh, I'm just going upstairs. Can't remember the last time I've been like in the inn.
Yeah, totally.
And it was quite funny actually, because everyone's just like having doing their thing. And so then I went upstairs and there's just like a little bed and like you have to fluff the pillow. So I was just like
fluffing quest, eh?
Yeah. So I'm like fluffing the pillow, and then someone next to me is like also fluffing their pillow, and
your eyes met across the room.
It was just great because I took a nap. But yeah, so there's that one. There's another one where so this got me thinking. Like I went go to Old Town and find ways to just like get it out. Like you get it out. You roar, like you shout and you yell. You like kick cans. You yell into a pillow. You find pillows and you're like, "Rah!"
You bury your face into a pillow.
Yes, Tally. Yes, Tally.
Interesting.
But it made me think, like, and I was like, oh wait, there's a vendor here that sells those like little motorcycles. I was like, oh cool. And I was like, wait, when's the last time I have been in the old town?
Yeah, true.
Literally walking around, looking at the NPCs around me and having a nice time. When's the last time I've done that? I literally cannot remember. Yes, sir. I'm not making these up. These are the actual quests that you do.
This actually sounds really good. I usually don't touch holiday events with a barge pole.
Right?
And you just did it to fill up your traveler's log so you could get the sexy transmog.
Exactly. And yeah, exactly. And like they knew exactly what they were doing with these quests, and like they're fun and they're funny and they're great, but they really made me to kind of engage with parts of the world that I hadn't engaged with before in a long time. And, and the one where it's like, go to Nagrand, that one of them basically go through a portal and every day he's like, go to a different like romantic spot. And wow, you can go to all of them, but he sends you on a quest every day. And, you've got a different task. So in Nagrand, it was photographing like the wildlife, and there are like little couples like taking pictures,
that's cool.
Sitting on their blanket and stuff. And another one was go to Grizzly Hills.
Yay!
And you go to Grizzly Hills, and I forget what I even did in Grizzly Hills. I think I picked some flowers in Grizzly Hills.
Getting to places is so easy now as well. That's the thing with dragon riding.
Well,
like
yeah.
you're the speed of light. You're just like
so zooming around Grizzly Hills and like zooming around Nagrand. I was like, wait. This is nice. And I think we often talk about, and like devs talk about, like, getting people engaging with content in a way that is new and different for them. And like, I genuinely I slowed down. I stopped for a minute and I did these kind of fun, relaxing quests in parts of the old world that I hadn't seen in a while. Boom. Love it. That's tick off one of those bullet points on Holly's 1, 2, 3 list. Cause that's like, doing something innovative and refreshing your experience of the game as you know it. And I was like, this is good. Anyway,
I've got an important question for you though.
Do you?
Heavy.
Yeah.
Where was the war? Where was the war in this world of Warcraft?
Well, it was in here.
Because it sounds a bit like the world of taking a nap quest at the moment, and I'm just saying, isn't that what they do in Disney movies? Always taking a nap. It is the Disneyfication of WoW. Isn't this like everything that's bad about WoW right now?
The war is in here, Tally. The war is inside of you.
Well, we all know that.
Yeah, the war is inside.
Every time I have a curry, mate.
Yeah. So I genuinely was surprised by how much I loved this holiday event because, like Tally, I never do them. I'm like,
no, I was surprised. I came up and I saw you playing this, game, which is a surprise in itself. And then I saw that you were doing the Love in the Air quest. I was like, why on earth are you doing those? In this house, we don't do holiday events. And you totally did. And you were having a great time.
Yeah.
You kept giggling and turning around and being like, this is awesome. And you got your sexy cosplay. Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you. And it goes without saying, just keep your game music on for all this stuff. Like it's the music is excellent. The music in Nagrand is superb. Grizzly Hills. Don't even have to tell you about how good that is. Like, yeah. Anyway,
That's amazing. I am actually going to do that.
Yes, you
not
should.
tonight because I'm looking after the kids while you go to the cinema with your friend. But
Thank you.
Some other time I will do it and I'll thoroughly enjoy it. It'll be great. And not tomorrow because it's your birthday. You've already done it. You wouldn't do that with me.
I am going to go back in because I want to do it again because I want to do the other daily quests.
Oh, there are different daily quests as well?
Yeah, there are different daily quests.
That sounds, so why are you doing them? What do you get for it?
You get like the tokens that you can buy love-themed objects with.
Well, that would be very fitting for your birthday. What kind of love theme are we allowed to say it? You've already been cancelled twice this episode. Are we allowed to say what the love-themed objects are? Are we talking like Alice's sword kind of stuff?
Yes. Mounts.
Oh, of course.
Right.
Sorry. What's the mount? I don't actually know.
Oh, they're fine. They're just like pink colored mounts.
Oh, okay.
There's like the manta ray and some other things. There's some little pets which are kind of cute. And another thing, I opened a little heart-shaped box and instantly on like my first try got one of the dragon writing manuscripts for the proto drake. I got the love armor.
No way, you've got love armor. I
got love armor, which sucks.
Have you tried it on? Is it good?
Because it sucks. I mean, it's nice, but I never use my proto drake because
right. I see.
ugly.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry, I don't like them.
What does it look like? Is it like just lots of hearts on the seat and
purple.
stuff?
It's like dark purple, like gilt throne, saddle, whatever, and
Sounds
like
very cool,
and bits
actually.
on the wings. It's actually really good. It's really good. There's another one where like it's like a pair of like goggles, and it's called like you only have eyes for you, and it turns everyone who isn't in your party into a heart. So it's like it's like the corgi goggles. Do you remember the corgi goggles that turns everyone into corgis? These, you just put them on and it just turns everyone into like a little floating heart in the world.
That's weird, but I like it.
It is weird, but it's nice if you kind of just want to tune everyone out and focus. Because then it's like, oh yeah, with all these people running around, I can just like shoop. Anyway,
That's awesome. Now that sounds really cool. I'm for one very impressed that you got so much into it.
Consider me a convert.
yeah.
Like I genuinely like never do holidays, and today I was like boom boom.
I never do holidays either, and if I was forced to do holidays, like Love Isn't in the Air would be the last one that I would want to do. But that actually sounds really fun. So I guess I better check that out, really.
Better do it.
Oh gosh.
Better do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just think it's another great example of how they, like Holly says, they are experimenting. They're trying new things. This is what I like. Continue to evolve the living world for all players. I think that's a really pithy, straightforward way of talking about like how they want to deliver new stuff. And yeah, they're modernizing it. They're doing new things, but like the world that we are, the world of Warcraft in which we are, is like changing and in good ways. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll wait and see what it's all about before I cast judgment. It might be trash. But,
Exactly.
I've got no reason to believe it will be. It does sound interesting. My biggest worry at the moment is overhyping it and creating a situation where people are inevitably disappointed with it, unfortunately. And I think that's probably going to happen somehow with some people either way, but I hope it's not the majority view. I hope most people really enjoy it and that it is kind of what they want it to be. But I don't think that will be player housing. I'm thinking more and more like an event now that is, I don't know, now I'm thinking maybe it could be happening in Classic as well.
That was my first instinct when I saw the news. I was like, oh, like a holiday event. It's happening in both.
Yeah.
Cool. Right? So
I don't know. I don't know. I still just don't know. I don't know if you realize, but I just don't know. Yeah.
Or it's, something like wildly. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but like I've said before, I'm not like super worried. I'm not feeling overhyped. I'm feeling like, okay, cool. Let's see what happens. I'm ready.
Sure.
I am ready. When is March coming?
Well,
a month. Right.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the other thing, right? So you know, a PTR is more than just like a look at future content. It's more than just testing stuff. It is new World of Warcraft stuff, right? And that's always fun as a creator to be able to go through and get to the bottom of and explore and kind of get to grips with before it becomes live content.
Yeah.
So it's not great for creators, obviously, but who cares? Like I always say, you know, I am a fan first and foremost, a player first and foremost, and like the creation comes after that. So I'd always rather the game was exciting and fun and you know, full of surprises and wonder than be able to make content from the PTR. I'd always choose, you know, the thing that's better for players over the thing that's better for creators.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I guess we'll see. I'm very, very excited to find out. I'm very excited for next episode where you'll be coming dressed as Vi.
You can't wait.
Me neither. It's gonna be so much fun. The day after Valentine's Day, you dressed as Vi.
Yeah.
It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be so good. We're gonna have a fun time doing your birthday tomorrow. Do we have any super chats that we can go and have a
Yes,
look at?
we do actually. We've got a big shout out from Dragonosi. Cheers. Happy birthday, Evie. Q&A question. Are either of you going to try Season of Discovery at some point? At least after all the level progressions are done.
Yeah, there's like a 50% XP boost up to level 25 at the moment, I think, isn't it? Or that's the cap that is the old cap as of today.
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
Yeah, I if I was going to jump in it, I could. Yeah. And the thing is, it's becoming more and more clear that they're doing something really clever and fun with it. That they are... clearly, and you know, we've seen this for a while now, and I'd be really interested to see what's in the new content with regards to this as well. But you know, Xalatath is definitely in Season of Discovery.
Yes.
And
so
whether that's just like a fun
gotta
nod,
go have a look.
or, and this is what I actually think, whether they're tying that into the kind of build up to the War Within, which I think is so cool.
It is
and
pretty cool,
so
actually.
clever, but I absolutely hate it because it means I have to play Season of Discovery. Which I will undoubtedly enjoy and really be glad that I've done. But, you know, before I actually do it, I'm like,
Yeah.
just don't want to really. I'm happy just like seeing it from the outside. But if I'm, you know, if you're going to be able to talk about it, you have to be able to see it yourself.
It's true.
And like, so yeah, I am going to have to jump in and do Season of Discovery. But yeah, I'll take the 50% XP buff, that's for sure. And I think I don't know Classic enough to even know when I'm looking at a thing which is a change or not. Yeah. So I don't appreciate it as much as lots of people. But I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna see it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait. Yeah. What about you? Would you ever play it?
I'm like you. I feel like I have to at some point, but I'm not looking forward to it, even though I know that it is objectively cool and delivers a lot of cool things. I just like, I don't feel like I have capacity for another game in my life. And that's clearly a completely different game. Yeah. Like, you know, so, but you know what? I probably will do it.
Grey Shades, you both lost, I promise. Put on a frock, Tally.
You didn't have to ask him to do that. God.
Yeah, totally.
You'll do it with pleasure.
Rico in the chat. Hey, Tally. Hey, Evie. Sorry I'm late today. Cheers. Love to you all. By the way, when are we going to get a Baldur's Gate 3 cosplay stream? I mean, I could have chosen a Baldur's Gate cosplay for you to wear as part of the bet,
you know,
for sure.
two birds with one stone with that one.
Yeah.
But no, I feel like we need to do a dedicated...
Would you dress up as your character from Baldur's Gate 3, or would you go as you know, one of the legacies or anyone else?
I don't know. I feel like the easiest thing for me to do would be just to like put on a little purple robe and like pull my hair back and just be Gale. But I feel, you know, I don't know, Shadowheart could be fun just because everyone loves that. Like everyone is just...
I mean, if you wanted to do that, I could live with it.
Yeah,
I could possibly live with. I would be
later
like, wow.
Shadowheart or earlier Shadowheart.
Oh, later Fringe. Fringeless Shadowheart, obviously.
But she's so iconic in her earlier like look. You know?
Yeah, but
she's a little less recognizable with
but counterpoint, later Shadowheart is hotter.
Correct. Yeah.
Look, she can still be wearing Mintharia's underwear. Don't worry about it. Like...
Yeah. whoever it is, I will be wearing Minthara's underwear. But
Totally. John Lloyd with the super chat as well. Finally caught this live. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, friend. Lovely to have you here. And Meowzamir with a happy birthday, Evie super chat. Oh,
Yeah.
mate, happy birthday
thank
to you. We're gonna have a lot of fun
you.
tomorrow. It's gonna be great. We're gonna have for lunch. Because we haven't got any babysitting for tomorrow, so my parents are performing in a show, so they can't look after the kids. So we're doing everything in the day.
yeah,
and
just
like
having a little lunch.
packing it full of fun.
Are we?
Yeah, and then we'll get a takeout in the evening. What do you reckon?
Oh,
What takeout do you want?
hey.
You can choose
Ooh.
any. What's your favorite dish? I'm not gonna make it, but I promise you to order it from Zanzibar.
Do not know what reference that is.
It was
but
even if you did know, you probably wouldn't have recognised it the way I did it.
niche
Let's just say
UK
we won't be
reference.
getting copyright strike for that one. Put it that way.
Phew, thank goodness. Thank you.
What takeout do you want?
Possibly Chinese or curry.
yeah.
Curry or I want to like get a Wagamama or something. You know what I mean?
what?
Like I just want to get something
Like a Five
just-
Guys or something, maybe? Or...
Yeah, I would. Yeah, always Five Guys.
Or Pizza
yeah.
Hut.
Yeah, like just something like rubbish, which I would absolutely love. So yeah, but yeah, we will have to do a separate dedicated Baldur's Gate episode of
Well, maybe we can just have like multiple different podcasts, right? Maybe we can do the third channel where we're talking about media, but do it as a podcast format rather than a pre-recorded format. Maybe we could do that. And
I quite like this podcast.
I like this podcast as well, but like.
Or we could just have a special episode where it's just called a Baldur's Gate podcast, obviously. Like just a one-off.
Main channel though, that's the thing.
Well, yeah.
I'm just saying, you know, like
we put Baldur's Gate videos on this channel.
T&E Talks channel, but instead of like recording like 3 hours of footage, which I then have to edit and put inserts and stuff like that,
4K.
what if we just did it as a podcast
With elaborate
where we
costumes.
chatted it and stuff? Oh no, the elaborate costumes we'll keep.
Nah.
That was fun, but I don't know. Would there be a market for that? Would people go back to the third channel if the videos there were kind of more podcasty in format rather than kind of like pre-recorded and edited like they were? Because I was quite proud of that, but it was a huge
It
time
was like
investment.
an enormous time sink in like setting it up, recording it, doing like show notes. Who does show notes? Like sitting, like just.
Oh yeah,
coming up
there
with
was
a
as
bit-
much planning in one of those as like a
just
scripted
a proper video, and
Yeah,
we'd have to stop. We'd have to re-record bits. It was insane. It was like an insane amount of work for.
I'll consider it.
But it was.
I'll consider it.
Maybe.
Yeah, I would like a kind of a 3-camera setup for it if we did it properly.
I feel like that's overkill. I really like it.
I like that stuff.
I really like it, but I feel like just the classic me and you on screen is like the sweet spot for me personally.
Okay,
I'm
maybe.
sure.
Well, yeah, we can do it. We can do it. We'll discuss. We are starting to watch more media again now. There was a point when Penny was born where we weren't watching anything at all, so it was kind of.
So we're just
hard.
like,
yeah,
just not
but
engaging with anything,
we are
but, yeah.
doing that now. Or we could talk about The Crown. You'd like that?
Yeah, we could talk about The Crown. I think personally we need to watch Battlestar Galactica because you've never seen it. We watched
We're
like the
supposed to talk
first.
about different media in it, right?
We watched the first episode like 7 years ago when we were like, let's watch. I have watched all of it, obviously.
Yeah.
But I feel like Tally would be into it.
Clearly, I would. Yeah, of course I would. It'd be brilliant.
I think he would be into
Can we
it.
talk about stuff I like first, though? Can we talk about like Foundation or something? Or
We have to. So yeah, really good stuff like Foundation. Love to watch Foundation. I mean, talk about Foundation. Maybe read Foundation.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about the next Dune, which
yeah, I don't know if we're ever going to be able to talk about anything on Disney Plus again, though, because they put our subscription up by like £50, something like that.
UK pricing for Disney Plus is insane.
They just sent us an
from
email
April.
going, yo, your next subscription cost for the year is going to be like £107, up from like 70. We were like,
Yeah, we're like-
no, it's not. Cancel.
Yeah, and we were like, oh wow.
Wait,
yeah.
people are saying the Foundation TV series was disappointing.
Well,
Do you
one
agree?
person said that, and then someone said it was the best.
People are
space stuff.
saying.
Yeah.
It's what people are saying.
Yeah.
Well, I loved it. I thought Foundation was brilliant.
Yeah.
Apart from episode 2, which sucked and almost made me not watch any more of it, but everything else.
Yeah,
from
episode
then on
2
in
was
amazing.
absolute rubbish.
Don't need to do the podcast now. We just done it.
Yeah, exactly. And then so we'll see. We might have to reinstate the Disney Plus at some point, but we shall see.
Yeah. Anyway, that brings to a close our WoW talk for the day. Buddy, thank you for the super chat. Wishing Evie a happy birthday. Always good to see you on our chat. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you to everyone who subbed on Twitch as we were doing this as well. It's lovely watching those come through too.
Did we get to say thank you to John Lloyd and to Meow Zamir for more birthday wishes? Thank you.
Yeah, I did that, but let's say thank you again.
I
It's
said
nice,
thank
isn't
you.
it?
That's
Yeah,
why I
exactly.
said thank you 3
This
times.
makes you feel like you got more birthday wishes now, which is always good. So yeah, thank you for watching this live. If you are watching it live, the VOD will be on, well, obviously Twitch, but YouTube it's much easier to find. And of course, you can listen to this recording on all of your favorite podcast listening places, as long as those are Spotify, Apple Music, and like Amazon. I think, I'm not sure.
Literally everywhere.
I forgot to put it last week. I forgot to put it up last week.
You
Sorry,
did,
I only put it up on Monday, and people thought it was because I didn't like Garrett as a guest. People were like, I thought you just didn't put it up because Garrett was so horrible about WoW. I was like, oh, A, was he? And B, no. I just actually genuinely forgot to put it up. So sorry if you didn't find it. It is there now on all your favorite podcast listening places. But hopefully there'll be some excellent news to talk about next week.
Looking forward to
and
it.
I'm going to get in there and I'm going to play some Love Is in the Air.
I know you're itching to do it. You're like, let's end the podcast
genuinely.
now.
Well, I'm going to go and get dinner ready for the kids, and but then
Lovely
tonight maybe I will go and check it out. Who knows?
that's
Thank you for everyone who's joined us here. Until next time, from me, Taliesin,
And me, Evitel.
cheerio.
Bye.